scary one too.
No, I thought it said Trestocenos.
Maybe I heard it backwards.
Yeah.
I have audio dyslexia. I have dyslexia. Yes. That's a Futurama reference. That was hilarious. That was great. Okay. Are we live? Excellent. Roto. Oh, my stuff is frozen, which is not a surprise. Let's see. Where are we? Rapid reviews. Hypothetically. Of course. All right. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh goodness. Of course.
You gotta respect the hustle.
We should do that. We should get Raid and NordVPN. You have to keep the window up.
Oh dear.
Gosh.
There's
I
the echo.
sound yeah, that's bad. Let me there's an echo and also I think I'm crazy loud.
It's fast speak. Oh right, yeah, I just noticed he's got his phone up. Yeah.
That's up. Let's. Oh, let me put. Yeah, and we look like we're not frozen, so that's good. Okay. Hey. That's very quirky. Sound. A bit behind on stream. Yeah, I hate to say it, Pete, but that is what happens. It is. It is. Yeah, it does. Until his video comes back up.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Like, yeah, that was weird. Right, okay. Let me just turn this on. Hopefully my computer won't crash. That would be even worse. Right, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. That's perfect. God bless.
screen. Oh gosh. I know. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, I turned it down because I thought it was too loud. Talkie talkie, is that better? How about now? I'm scared.
Shalom, shalom. How do you do?
Well, chat is telling Ciaran hello.
Howdy, folks.
Yeah. Pete's gone high tech. Oh, we're frozen, Pete. Okay. I'm a bit behind because the stream's behind.
I just
Okay.
finished playing probably just finished playing a ranked game of Legends of Runeterra there, and honestly, some of the decks people play with, they don't make sense. Man, I didn't lose a single bit of health there, and this man just surrendered. Like, how's that man at silver? I don't understand. How do you get silver with that? Oh dear, I don't know. It's funny though when I beat them because you see it coming. You see what champions are in, and you're like, what on earth are you doing? Sometimes it surprises you, I'll admit.
Oh gosh, my camera just blinked. Oh, there you are, Pete. All right. Well, we can hear you. So that's very strange. That's very strange. Check your on your whatever hand this is, right hand. There's gonna be levels. The mixer, yeah. Make sure you'll have to go to properties and switch it over to your microphone. You have to left, right click, whatever that. But Ciaran, didn't you do like a all one race run
Hmm?
on Runeterra? Didn't you do like a all one race on Runeterra? I can't remember which character you said it was.
Oh no, I think it's about the Gauntlet. Gauntlet's just it's like the standard tournament style mode where you need it's a best of three, you take in three of your decks, and then you just keep going until you lose one bout. Or it's like if you lose twice, if you lose two of your best out of threes, you're out completely.
Right.
I've not lost a single one yet, so
Sweet. That's very cool. Your gaming prowess is unmatched. Pete, have you fixed it? Did you figure it? Well, it's okay. Did you left right click? Sorry, I'm not good at left right. Did you right click it? Click on. Yeah, well, no, the bar that yeah, and there should be a drop down and it should let you choose your microphone. Yep. And thank y'all chat for hanging in there with us. This is just, yeah, and I know we're freezing. The freezing is totally
It's a quirk on my computer.
yeah, it's totally controllable. Just be patient. We'll start moving again.
Trying to actually fix my audio issue
Yeah.
here, so hang on. I wonder
It's
if you can hear
all
me
good
now.
in the hood. Oh yeah, let us know when you can hear Pete.
It doesn't appear that they can hear me yet, so no. Oh, you can. Actually, you can. There we go. Hang on.
All
Just going
right,
to
now we.
increase the level. Hang on.
Pete,
Let's see if
make
that's any
yourself
better.
louder.
Yep, there we go. Cool. I think I might have fixed it.
Excellent.
So we should have full video now.
Oh,
Should have
right,
me
yeah.
here. You should be able to hear me now.
Chat is saying they can hear you. The video is a little bit behind, so it's still frozen, but give it just a second.
I can see it on my side. It is now actually running, so that's
excellent. Excellent.
So, but it's going to stop very, very briefly for a second, but that's fine because I'm just bringing up Google Chrome again. There we go. They're good. Oh, wow. Feels like I actually problem solved, which is nice.
It's going to be a great episode.
Oh, it will be. Yeah. But having to fix all those quirks is always a fun one.
Oh, absolutely. It's the first day bugs.
Yeah, they haven't rolled out that day one patch yet.
Yeah.
Are we? Let me just do this quick because
Pete's doing some sound testing.
no, I'm just running the record in the background. There we go.
He's not testing. He's just recording.
Yeah. Cool.
Excellent.
I'm kind of ready to go if you guys are.
If you want to wait one more minute,
Sure.
We'll give chat their official
1 minute.
mark. Yeah.
You have 1 minute. Hurry up.
You have 1 minute.
Now I'm ready to go. You're holding me up. I joke, of course.
Of course.
How are we all this fine Sunday?
You're gonna say another word, not fine.
What are you
It's
like
been
sitting?
Sunday.
Are you sitting in that house just looking around, going, "This is fine"?
This is fine. Yeah, I'm on fire.
Yep. Actually, I'm a bit.
All right.
I'm not happy with this. Hang on.
Oh, okay. Because I'm ready whenever you are, Pete.
Yeah, it was just I wasn't happy about the placement of one particular part of the stream. Your name was slightly higher than Kieran's, and I like the symmetry, you know. So yeah, it's not gonna.
Yes. Just for future reference, if you click, you can see the pixels, and you can.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
That's boring future crap.
Well, yeah, we can deal with that future crap later. Kylie, how much more baking did you do?
We'll get into that.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to bring that up quite a lot. Because I am now very interested to find out about some chocolate mold.
Oh yes, we'll talk about that.
Oh, I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will.
I'm going to be rich. Not really.
I'm gonna be more rich than I am already.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm
gonna add
super guilty.
I'm going to extend Courtyard 3 into Courtyard 2 to create Courtyard 4.
Oh, I'm already feeling incredibly guilty.
Why? No, this is a serious question. You know full well this comes every time. Why the frick do you still podcast with me knowing that all I do is take the piss?
Sometimes I wonder. I must be a glutton for punishment.
Seriously, I must be as well, because I must be a glutton for not getting messages.
Oh, yes.
For lack of sociability.
That's true.
I'm joking, of course.
So
it's
true.
fine. It's a quirk.
No,
we all have our quirks.
No, I was thinking about that today. My Texas friend, Lynn, who sometimes shows up in chat, she messages me, every 3 or 4 months to check in.
Yeah. And
every time she does message me, she crams every question she can get in because she knows I'm just gonna
fly away. I don't blame this, to be honest.
Yeah, so I still have 3 questions I need to answer at some point. Oh, look, Dr. Virtual's joined us as well.
Morning?
No, you are not late.
No, you're very late because you said it's morning, it's afternoon.
You are right on time.
You are not late. We haven't started the show just yet.
But I'm about to.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we've exceeded our own 1 minute warning.
Now we're back on 7.
No, look, I had some quirks I had to deal with quickly, so alright. But I'm ready.
I deal with quirks every day. Okay.
All I deal with is quirks. My quirky nature.
Count me in.
Oh, is that what you were asking me? Jesus Christ. I couldn't hear it. It just went faint. Alright.
Count me in!
Okay. Alright. Freaking hell.
And it's 1:13, right?
That's now the 4th time you've asked. Yes, it is.
Okay. I can't keep things in my head.
Okay, right. We are starting the show in 3, 2.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast, episode 113. And I kid you freaking not, this is going to be one of my favorite episodes. I can already feel it. I can feel it in the air. I am surrounded by my 2 favorite people on this planet. One, Ciaran. Over there.
Top of the morning.
Yes, to the left. I'm Pete, to the bottom.
Yo.
And I am going to start this out as I always start it out. I want to check in on my guys, see how they're doing. Pete, how are you doing today?
Good. I'm a bit tired. I had a busy day yesterday. Had kids running around all morning because my brother's currently moving. So this is what we were saying beforehand. Anyone who has kids knows full well that they are literal vampires and they suck the energy away from you, like Ciaran was saying before in our pre-show. So I might be a little low energy for this one, but I will try and be as enthusiastic as possible.
Yes, it should really be common knowledge that the young feast upon the old. And we just, our life force just goes.
Unless your name is Vlad.
Oh,
In which
goodness.
the old feasting on the young.
Were they?
Well, thank God we do not have a Vlad here.
Yeah, thank
And
goodness.
amongst in our ranks, unless Vlad's in the chat, if so, welcome Vlad. Hope you enjoy the stream.
Very true. You're in. How about you? We haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, I'm just chilling. I'm just getting by. Went a wee walk today with the dog. Other than that, just uni work and playing stuff whenever I can, whenever I really feel like it, I suppose.
Of course.
Go. It's a life of Riley right there.
Yeah, so you've been playing Warhammer 3, right?
Oh yes. I sufficiently I downloaded it, right? I downloaded it ahead of it launching on, I believe it was last Thursday. I go on and wake up early in the morning because I carved it as is, and you know what, I'll get all my uni work done this week, so I can justify playing this all day. And then I went on and it wouldn't launch. I'm like, oh no, why is this not launching?
Oh no.
I tried all the different things, even had to use console commands on my Windows to uninstall certain things and reinstall them, like certain important services that make games run. That didn't solve it. It didn't make the problem worse either, to be fair. There's no change, it's just the game wouldn't launch still. And then I started digging through the forums to find that there's that solution from an actual Microsoft kind of specialist person saying, "Oh, try this." And I was like, "Okay, right, that's not worked." The very bottom comment in this forum had the highest amount of people said this comment is helpful. Right. And I'm like, "All right, I'll give this a read." It was by a considerable margin. I should point out, a considerable margin. This person's comment was very helpful, apparently. The advice was literally to sync up your time and date.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. Now, for the full Thursday, to make matters worse, I uninstalled the game thinking the install like messed up. So when it reinstalled 12 hours later on Thursday, I was like, right, here we go, let's get into it, and it still wouldn't work. So I uninstalled and reinstalled it overnight through to the Friday. But before I went to bed, I thought, let me try syncing up that time and date. Friday morning, what happens? The game launches completely fine.
Nice.
Apparently, here's a little tip for you folks that want to play stuff on PC Game Pass. Apparently, because the way Windows Store works, Windows Store applications won't function if your time and date is out of sync with the actual time and date.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've heard about this problem before. Like, this
I had no idea it was a thing. So I could have played it on Thursday morning if I knew that.
Yeah.
But I ended up uninstalling the 113 gigabyte game, reinstalling it, unable to play it again, uninstalling it overnight. But hey, well, at least I got to play it on the Friday, and it was glorious.
So you've downloaded a total of 339 gigabytes for one game. that only just
Mhm.
started working a day later.
That's
All
one way
because
to-
I literally just changed the time and date on my computer, which
Oh,
was,
Yeah.
I believe, my the thing with mine was it was a day ahead. The time was fine, but it said it was like the
Excellent.
day after. It was actually.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Fun times. Sounds like
Oh,
right
it
old
was-
laugh. Luckily, you don't have a data cap.
well, thankfully I should be getting a gigabyte download speed as of this coming week.
And yet,
That's great.
and yet I went
So that
to go
solution will
down.
be.
And yet I downloaded Left 4 Dead 2 the other day, and it's it's not quite 113 gigs, but it literally took 2 minutes
Jinx.
for like 10 gigs.
I was gonna say odd flex, but see, to be fair, it is Left 4 Dead 2. It's quite old now. It's an old boy.
Yeah, but I also seem to recall that there were games that we were all trying to play on Xbox, and I think I was the one who had it first installed.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that being a thing.
So
I was thinking this as well, Pete. Like, the irony here as well. You've got your computer now, and just as you get a computer, we can now play Fall Guys cross-platform. So
got that behind me. Don't need the PC for it. I'm not buying it a second time.
exactly.
Yeah,
But just imagine you did, Pete. Imagine you bought Fall Guys. Be right, guys. Let's play Fall Guys, and then a week after, they're like, "Oh, cross-platform's out."
I would have been so fuming. It's happened. It's happened so many times to me in the past. So I've sort of been burned by that bridge for like that one too many times. So I'm choosing not to buy it on another platform because and I made the right decision on this one to decide to wait. And Dr. Virtual's put in the chat, I still play Left 4 Dead 2 on PC myself. Good choice. I didn't realise, right? There's so many community campaigns now. It's amazing.
I mean, Pete. What you have to do is you've got to download the Shrek, mod. No, Pete. You have to. Listen, Left 4 Dead's great, right? But you got to enhance the experience. So you make all the playable characters dinosaurs. You make the tanks, I believe they're called, whatever they're called, the big massive ones, Shrek. Because every time he shows up, all star plays.
No. I am
What?
not. I am not having
What?
it where the Smash
What?
Mouth plays every time a boomer comes out. That is not my idea of
No.
fun.
No, because it's great, because it's terrifying, because 1 minute you're sitting before the zombies, and then in the distance it's quiet at first because he's in the distance, and you start hearing, somebody wants to win, but it gets louder as he gets closer to you. Like the audio plays from him.
Yeah, I'm aware of the logistics of how it works. I just do not like the idea of it.
That's awesome.
And then what you do is you pair that with the Helm's Deep map, which is very good. And yeah.
Oh, I love modding so much.
Brent has put in the chat, that reminds me, my Switch dock fit well between the Series X and the 360.
Oh,
very,
yes.
very good. I must get back to you on that, Brent, because he did send me a message about that.
Oh, right, yes. Brent got himself a Switch.
Yes, and he managed to get Link's Awakening and Metroid Dread for $80, which is a good get.
Absolument.
Yes, so excellent. Shall we get on with the show?
Yes.
Except, actually, we must ask you, what's your week been filled with?
Bread.
Yeah, we had a comment about it. Come on, we want to know.
Yeah, alright, so this is just for our audience, because my life is boring. I've been making bread like crazy, and the crazy bit is I can't eat bread, so I just make it and just give it to people. And someone asked me yesterday, she was like, why don't you just make bread all the time? This is amazing. And it's like, well, I don't know that my print shop can handle selling bread, but maybe.
Well, that's why you open up a bakery branch, and what Pete described as your fourth courtyard.
Yeah. I mean, you could do that, or you could have Bamboozey branded bread.
Gosh, oh my gosh.
Bread. Bambready.
Bready. Oh my gosh.
And you just have a store, and you just bake bread.
You just walk into the bread and smell it, and then you buy your t-shirts or put in
your
order.
Or you branch out and you get some cakes and stuff in there, and then it's Bam Bakery.
Or you could start selling scented candles that smell like Bamboozey bread.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that. See, that's the point. You might just open a supermarket, like branding their names, and then like everything inside is like a pun on, like playing the same name. So you have the band bakery like up the back of like aisle 12 or something. You know, the same way like Morrison's and stuff like has that. Yeah.
Bam Deli? That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Deli boozy.
Oh my god, that sounds even worse though.
Get the off license.
Bamboozicatessen.
Yeah, bamboozy. Yeah. Yeah, that's your alcohol section.
Oh my gosh.
Start fermenting your own wine.
Yeah. When you do have an alcohol section, what you have to do, what you must do, is I saw this photo, like these big kind of double doors into the alcohol area of a supermarket, and someone like retweeted it and said, I don't know how it's meant to deter me. It makes me feel like a cowboy walking into a saloon. And I think that's genius. Every shop needs to have a kind of like saloon doors going into the alcohol area.
We literally have a place like that here. It's at the Eurospar, and it's the half doors, and you feel like a cowboy. Yeah. Belly up to the bar.
Yeah, I was going to say probably fermenting like your own wine is never a good idea because you'll drink yourself out of stock.
I actually had someone suggest that the other day that I try to make my own wine. Because I have all this underground space. But what I really want to mention, although,
yeah, Brent has asked, why not just give the bread free with purchases?
I should do that.
He says, I need a bamboozy cozy filled with bread.
You know what's crazy? Before I say this next part, and we're going to totally move on, they don't do koozies here, Brent. It's not a thing.
Not really.
It's weird. Yeah, you guys don't really do them. That's the thing that goes around cans.
Yeah.
So you don't even.
I know exactly what they are. It's like it's something to keep your drinks cold when you're in a warm weather.
I think because it's always cold here, possibly, except for where you are, Pete.
Also, because we have such a thing that we can purchase called Chili's bottles that keep cold anyway. So
I sell those, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't need them.
Pete, why don't you tell us a little bit about that Chili's bottle? That looks like a very good product.
I'm not going to tell you about that because we're not sponsored by Chili's.
Yes.
Though, Chili's, if you're listening, we could be.
I've got 2 of them, and I bought 2 more for Rachel. So yeah, like I could brand sponsor for sure.
I mean, you've sold Pete, you know. I'd just make him sell it to other people.
Yeah, Nana. It's like basically a thermal sleeve for cans, pretty much, or
I can make rapid reviews once.
Whenever I just need to keep a drink cold, you know. Well, I mean, supposing it's not like milk or anything, like
you just put it in the fridge.
You keep your bottles in the fridge. When I want water, like bottled water, I just keep the bottle I'm using in the fridge and just go down and get it. It's fresh. But in the summer, you know, if I've got a pint or something there, and it's not been in the fridge, I'll the solution's simple. You just stuff your cheeks full of ice cubes like a chipmunk.
Yes, that works very, very well. I've done that a few times. But the good thing about Chili's bottles, not brand sponsorship by the way, is that you can put ice cubes in the bottle.
You know, that's phenomenal because you think about plastic bottles, Pete. You know, not only are they bad for the environment, but you know, the hole at the top's just so small. You can't fit a normal ice cube in there. You need to get one of those like ice cube maker things that like the big long sticks. I mean,
bullet ice cube trays that for water bottles.
There you go. If you buy a Chili's bottle, you know you can put ice cubes in it, and you're also helping save the environment.
Hours.
You can send it to Bamboozy, and I'll customize it for you.
Yes. That means I've got to request a rapid reviews Chili's bottle.
I should do that. I actually should. I should
brand
send Mike
synergy when I go to events in the future.
Oh my gosh, everyone's talking about koozies. But I did want to say this, and we're totally moving on. But I did manage to crack the code on the Joy-Con chocolates that everyone went crazy about. I'm so excited about that.
You need to sell those.
I'm a huge dork. Let's first and foremost say that. But I made vacuum molds, thermo molds. It depends on what you call them, but they're vacuum forms. And
so they're basically they're just chocolate molds, aren't they? So you just put the chocolate in there and let it cool and set, and
which I'm gonna do later today or possibly tomorrow. And then check out my Etsy, which I don't really mean. I really, really don't mean to be selling my stuff on.
No, look, you spent time on building or getting those molds together.
You deserve
the right to actually have the chance to upsell these.
2 weeks because you have to put clay around it. It doesn't matter. But yes, so Joy-Con chocolates are totally a thing. The thing that Nintendo itself tweeted out on Valentine's Day.
And refused to actually sell them.
I'm actually thinking of putting wafer sheets in them and make them like Kit Kats even. But again, yeah, I know I shouldn't be talking about that.
Look. Let me just say this, right? As a keen consumer of chocolate, that if I don't get any samples of this to try your actual chocolate, then I'm going to be fuming because I love chocolate.
Yep. See, I should do that. Exactly, I should do that. I should do plain milk chocolate, and then with the white chocolate highlights, and then like a cookies and cream one with cookie bits in it.
Now you're talking my language.
Like a Cadbury with caramel. Oh
or
my
like
god!
a Hershey's one, yeah.
Ooh, not Hershey's. Hershey's is the devil.
No, Hershey's cookies and cream is like one of the only good ones that they do.
Okay,
it's actually
I'll grant you that.
It's quite decent. The strawberry cookies and cream one is actually quite nice too.
I've never had that.
Oh,
I
that's
can't
good.
because it's got weed in it. So like those came out after. Yeah. Anyway,
Brent's talking about wanting his chocolate pure like his cocaine. Well, he says, "I want my chocolate pure." No, I don't want it cut with anything.
It was spliced with any other substances.
Oh, I can make jellies as well. I can make like gummies.
You mean edibles?
No, gummy Joy-Cons, like gummy worms.
Yeah, I'm also
for the record, we do not support drug use here. It's all for fun.
No, I'm just
anyway.
I'm waxing lyrical. It's a possibility. It could happen.
Yes, I can also make bath bombs and candles. But my friends,
look, a Mario shaped one.
I can do that as well.
I'm all in.
Yeah. I'm gonna be playing around with all kinds of molds this week now that I got my vacuum former working. Anyway, my friends, thank you for joining us. We are going to move forward because we have a really, 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 and I do not say this, like I really mean it, a great show for you.
Oh, I thought you were going to say interesting there.
No.
Good.
Pete's gonna do the due diligence and do all the background info, blah, blah, blah. But what we're talking about today is PR in gaming, which we've seen good PR and we've seen really bad PR. While we're discussing this, I would love for chat to let us know what in their opinion, is the worst PR they've ever seen in a gaming release.
What we'll do is
I've got mine.
We'll tote them up at the end. We'll talk about them if they haven't already been brought up. The ones that we found in a list. Then we will mention them, of course. Anyway.
But Pete, go ahead.
Right.
Go for it.
So the background of this is 3 different stories that we've had this past week that have been interesting. I know I did that on purpose, by the way. So we've had the story of EA blaming Halo Infinite as one of the reasons why Battlefield 2042 got completely yeeted, let's say.
Oof.
We've also had an example of good PR where the Destiny Twitter account got taken over by the titular character Savafun, who is the big bad for this particular expansion. And we've also had, and this gives me a chance to obviously discuss this, the Street Fighter 6 logo, along with the old thick boy Ryu, or Ryu, however you want to pronounce it.
And his...
Nana's coming with one, and that is a good one. We will mention that at the end. So
I wanted to talk more about Ryu and his upskirt.
You wanted to talk about the old big boy Ryu.
Start us off.
Right, so might as well just go into the Street Fighter one because this is bloody funny, to be honest. So,
oh gosh,
obviously, it was quite obvious to be able to predict that Street Fighter 6 was going to be announced, as we said last week, and I'm not even claiming the victory of being correct on this one.
Everyone predicted it. You did predict it as well, though.
Yes. So, what we weren't able to predict was what we saw, and what we saw was a CG trailer with a slightly buffed up Luke, who was the final character from Street Fighter V's final season, and a very, very thick, and I mean thick, Ryu, or Ryu, however you want to pronounce it. I'm going to try and keep
Older.
saying Ryu.
Older. And he's also
Yes.
very old.
Yes. They're actually taking a lot of inspiration from that exclusive skin that we had from Street Fighter 5, the old, what they called Hot Ryu, which is a bearded Ryu with no shirt. Or no gi,
I'll take
basically.
your word for that. Oh, no gi, that's an actual thing.
Yeah, he's like shirt. It's like no top half of the gi, basically.
Yeah, that's an actual.
Yeah, but that
was
was actually the skin, and it was exclusive to certain retailers when Street Fighter 5 came out. So it wasn't like universal, but apparently from what I've seen from the prototype images of Street Fighter 5, that was the direction they actually wanted to take him in, and people hated it, so they took it back to regular, which is what a surprise. But that logo has come out as...
My gosh.
People are now stating various things to do with it, such as it was stolen from an $80 Adobe stock image and slightly altered. It looks pathetic. It looks ridiculous. I think it looks like absolute trash. But someone, I'm going to give credit to this person. So it was a particular podcast I listened to called Big Red Barrel UK, and one of the guys on there, Coleman, did say that it's in fitting possibly with an esports mentality by having the 6 placed where it was, because it looks like a notification.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, I have to think of this, because obviously I'm coming at it from a graphic designer point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But, Kieran, have you seen it yet?
No, I was trying to see if you actually put it in the Discord chat, but
I'm afraid to say I did not, unfortunately.
Oh.
I did see the Street Fighter trailer though, and I must say, both gentlemen in that trailer did look very beefy. I swear there was a moment in that trailer where one of the guys like kind of tightens his fist, and then like his veins pop out in his forearm, and I'm like, oh my.
Yeah, he's very, very veiny, Luke, on that one.
Yeah, like a Zooey Mama,
Yeah, they also had a very close-up image of Ryu's foot.
Oh, I'm still thinking of the upskirt.
I'm not talking about that part yet.
Of the foot, I mean, they know there's an audience for that, so that's not that bad.
There was also lots of sweat.
Well, listen, Pete, they're big men. They've been fighting, and they're clearly in bulking season. No,
I mean
they're bulking up.
I know. I mean it kind of like a good thing. There was actual like proper sweat physics, and it looked kind of cool for that reason.
I think that's great. Actually, you see, the same way like Call of Duty was like promoting fish physics once upon a time. Like I think they should really lean into sweat physics in this game. Like as a big draw, how great would it be for them to like do a kind of like big reviews, kind of overview. You have one of the leads in the team talk about it. It's like, if there's one thing we wanted to do, what really immerse you in the fighting experience system, that's why we really wanted you to be covered in sweat from the screen to your character.
Yeah.
If
your character sweats, you sweat too.
How cool would that be though, right? Think about it, you sit and you change your stance, you can kind of flip around sometimes in certain games. Imagine your character flips and you've been fighting that long, that actually sprays onto the camera.
Ugh.
And your screen
sprays out of the controller right at your face.
And then you can and supposing you've been fighting, suppose it gets to like the final rounds, right? It's been on for a while, and you just keep swapping stance. You're like a wet dog, just like shaking.
I mean, that sounds like more of a Mortal Kombat thing, because they do actually have the stance flip feature within the code itself. Street Fighter isn't really about that. They only have a couple of characters where they are able to change their stances. I think Kernan is one of them, where she changes from one stance to another.
It's a strength in real fighting.
Well, I think I think with these sweat physics, they should introduce it as a mechanic for everyone.
It could be interesting. I think it's probably.
Flip in it.
I think it's just a feature of the engine that they're using, which I mean, it's not been advertised that it is the RE engine, but it clearly looks like the RE engine.
But was that engine, or was that just rendered?
Oh, it's rendered, but a lot of people are looking at this as an actual example of what they can do with the RE engine.
Yeah, but it'll be the same way like other games do not make like a lot of the cinematic trailers in that engine.
Yeah, Resident Evil 8 did it.
So
the
very well
village,
could be
sorry.
rendered in the same engine they're using to make it.
That could be. That's very true.
Yeah, I do want to bring this comment up from Nano because it is pretty appropriate to what we're talking about. Ryu was already Chris Redfield RE5 levels of jacked though.
It was crazy.
And it's true. Like I did see a video of someone saying they really want to see Ryu punch a boulder now.
Oh gosh.
So
there's a Chris Redfield reference for you.
Yeah, so we'll move on from the Street Fighter stuff because I want to obviously hear yours two takes as Destiny fans about obviously Savathun taking over the Destiny Twitter account and throwing absolute shade at people.
First on that, he's the Destiny expert. Bum bum bum.
I guess that was a note to Ciaran because I think the first part cut out.
Oh
yeah, I didn't hear you there.
I wonder why you looked a bit confused there.
That was my terrible microphone. But I was saying that
glowing endorsement of that microphone that was set for review.
Exactly. But I was saying Ciaran should go first because he is the Destiny expert.
Yes.
I mean necessarily, right? I'm looking at their Twitter just now to see some of the examples, and right, they've done it before on their Twitter. I'm pretty sure in Season of the Chosen, when Kaito was first introduced, Kaito being the kind of head honcho of the Cabal faction in the game.
Yeah.
Kyle took over their Twitter as well, and like you see it a lot. Fall Guys have done it a few times in their Twitter as well. See, honestly, I don't know how effective it really is. Seeing I think it's good. It can be a fun little thing for fans, already existing fans of the game. I suppose they're not trying to use it to market to new people. But yeah, it's a fun little thing. But I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I didn't pay much attention to it. I'll be honest. I saw it. I came up in my thing because someone else I follow on Twitter liked it, and I was like, oh, that's quite funny they're doing that. But actually, that was for me. Because I think at that point that was a few days before the actual expansion launched.
Yeah.
But I think at that point hype is already fine. Hype's already there. You don't really do much after that. But I think it's good because you really know that the Destiny team is committed to the world they've created in that, and I think it really shows in a lot of, and almost everything they do is even look at even teams outside the creative and comms that really passionate about the game when they voice it. And yeah, I think it's a good thing. I think doing it right, which they did do, I think some of it was actually really, really clever, especially when a lot of tweets were almost speaking in riddles.
Yeah.
It's important when you're doing that to know your audience and also know your IP.
Absolutely.
Because again, I look at it. Sometimes you see Fall Guys do it, and Fall Guys do it. It's more, I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same, I guess. And you can see that in the comments of the Fall Guys Twitter.
Yeah,
when they do it.
I can kind of get that point. If you have a fan base that knows about those characters, and obviously Destiny being very lore heavy, you would sort of come to expect that the vast majority of Destiny fans will know who Savathun is. So her taking over the Twitter account is in keeping with the theme of obviously what this expansion is all about. So I think it was a good move. It's kind of like how the Super Mario Twitter account got taken over by Luigi when Luigi's Mansion 3 was coming out. It's just good brand synergy in that respect, and this is why we bring it up as a good example of PR, a good PR.
Yeah, I think as well, right? What's interesting when you look at it is the post before kind of just demonstrating gameplay, kind of just showing you little snippets of the actual expansion itself. They're getting modest likes, retweets, and comments and stuff, right? You've got stuff like 6K, I think up to 8K. Not really breaking 10K likes, right?
Right.
No.
In comparison, you look at all the Savathun tweets, they're all at 13K likes.
Yes.
More or less. There's one here at 17K.
Holy.
So it's a fun little thing because people see it and you're like, oh, it's clever. It's fun. It's a fun little thing, because end of the day, gameplay's nice and all, but having something unique, stand out, appeal to it and speak to them. sometimes in another voice. It's quite nice.
And I also think, like, I mean, this may be my bias coming out here, but Bungie is very community oriented. They like to cultivate their community. But I also thought it was very, very on their part to go after Paul Tassi, which, which is a very prolific writer for Bloomberg about Destiny. I think I'm saying that right.
I swear,
Yeah,
I
he
swear to
works
God,
for
like,
Bloomberg and he talks mainly about Destiny.
yeah, like I swear to God, like 70% of that man's job is just Destiny articles, and I don't know how he pulled it off. I wish I knew. I wish I could do Paul Tassi's job and just occasionally talk about other gaming news once in a while, but then like
Sometimes.
dedicate most of my time to Destiny. You know.
But then
It's
again,
true.
do you really feel like someone wants to be stuck writing about one game for multiple years?
You could do worse than Destiny.
I was
I know
gonna
you
say,
could. I'm
You could do a
saying.
lot worse than Destiny, to be fair.
if I could write about Destiny or Halo for like the rest of my life, I'd be.
Okay, well
What
then that's probably.
you want to talk about Halo? The current state it's in just now.
Oh no. Yeah, but no. What I thought was very funny to add this, and then we will switch over to Halo. Is that the person writing as or posting as Sabathoon totally roasted Paul Tassi, and that was hilarious. It was very funny. Got a lot of organic, follows and likes and stuff. But then a random fan had the lady that voices Sabathoon on Cameo read the tweet that roasted Paul Tassi.
My god.
That was so good. She is amazing, first of all, but it was so good. And that brought even more attention. This was like free advertising. It was 100% free advertising.
See, what I think's interesting about that is, right, you know, we talk about community and stuff. I think more and more kind of digital PR and marketing is becoming far more important, especially for like community-oriented games like this, and just anything with a strong community. And then that's where kind of influencers and stuff and content creators come into it, because, you know, Paul Tassi, as we've just mentioned, is you know, a relatively well-known name in the Destiny community. He got memed a lot by other Destiny content creators because of his thumbnail of one of his videos when he got the other half, which is one of the legendary swords you could have got during the Bungie 30th anniversary event, and it was a very low drop chance. So he had the video where he was basically on his knees with his hands up like that, and I believe it was behind him was his TV with the thing up on the TV, and yeah, a lot of people find that funny. Even my big cousin, I don't see too often. He was telling me, I was telling him I play Destiny, but he says, "Oh, I play this well." Just like, he's in Paul Tassi, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know Paul Tassi." So that's quite good, because as well, these influencers and content creators, they have their audience. So you have dedicated audiences to these people, and these people are then dedicated to that certain type of content or IP.
Right.
And it's really good to somewhat bring those kind of creators into the fold there, because then you're bringing their audience in. As much as like, because I feel like me, if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm probably gonna like see if like a kind of news or a press release or something comes out for a game or announcing updates or something. I'll tend to go to like a content creator to like watch them break it down or something.
Yeah.
No, I'll sometimes read it myself, but I'll go to someone and then I'll be like, they're breaking it down. You know, they'll give this some insight as well.
Yeah.
So people like typically go to these people. So if these people then get and on it, you know, report this stuff as well, it can attract more people to maybe the main Destiny Twitter to check it themselves, join in with the comments and stuff. You know.
Right.
But I think they're being very smart, especially that Paul Tassi thing. I think that was a very wise move. Yeah. Because it's that way. You got to make people feel part of something. And in this age, we've got what's the term again? Parasocial, yeah, parasocial.
Parasocial, yes.
Yeah, like this kind of parasocial world we're kind of in now. You know, actually building a sense of community with prominent figures in it is an important part of that. They capitalise well. Also, if you've not seen it, basically every week Bungie releases a This Week in Bungie post kind of outlining what's coming up, what we're doing this week, and also kind of art, like community art and movies of the week. And this week's movie of the week went to Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick being the voice of Commander Zavala
Brilliant.
in Destiny 2.
It did. Yes.
So movie of the week went to him because on his Twitter he put up a video of him waiting to get into Destiny 2 because it was like it says 1 moment please, several like capacity, and he read out the message in Zavala / his voice,
Of course.
and he turned the camera to himself and he said to me, he's like, seems a lot of people are playing Witch Queen today. And it's just that's like Lance Reddick. You gotta love it.
You can't go wrong with a bit of Lance Reddick.
Lance Reddick, he actually loves the game and the community so much because I made it a long time ago. But probably around the last time they actually done something like this, had a character take over the Twitter. There's a cutscene with Zavala in it, and it was very brief. It made them intimidating, and then someone wrote out a longer script for him, and he eventually took that script off of Twitter of his own volition. And read it out as Zavala on a Twitter post.
That's amazing.
And yeah, it's such a brilliant thing because that was free PR for them. Like
exactly, that's exactly it. Also, Zavala's totally into Kaido, but anyway, it's true. It's just kind of there for the taking. Which I love to see that. I love to see it. You love to see it. Whereas by contrast, Heat, if you want to do a little background of it for us.
Yeah, I have to try and remember the specifics of what happened here. But I believe there was a conference call with the shareholders of EA, with the management, where they were talking about why Battlefield 2042 had failed, including maybe being rushed to launch, not being properly optimized, and that Halo Infinite came out 2 months after it.
I cannot believe. I'll say this, and then of course I want to hear from you both. I cannot believe that EA's PR team allowed him to say that. I mean, for real?
Yeah, I'm massively surprised by that myself as well. Like, why would anyone turn around and officially admit that the game was a failure at launch? Like, in terms of because of another game. It's like,
I was gonna say it's the blaming.
Yeah, I know. It's like we've had. I'd say we've had similar situations like this before, but not quite to this degree where they've actually called out another specific game. Like, that's like turning around and going, oh yeah, Tatsunoko versus Capcom failed because Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was on the market at the same time. Sorry, both games created by Capcom, doesn't exactly matter in that instance, but they're two very similar games. Or just trying to think, like, two very, very similar sort of like genre games in that respect, because I actually don't think that Battlefield and Halo are that similar, apart from the fact that they're first person shooters. And that's
I personally don't. I don't find them similar. Because I've played with teams for 2042. I have to think of the numbers. And then I've played also on Halo teams, and they're very different games. There's a lot of like planning involved with 2042 or 2142. It doesn't matter. Same thing.
2042.
Yeah, that. But there's a lot of planning involved in that, a lot of strategizing. Whereas, yes, there's some strategizing in Halo, but you can go in Halo as a solo participant, and
that's how I do.
Yeah,
I think it's. See, it's a strange thing, right? Because I think there is some justification to be had behind the claim, right? But like, I think they have recognised, right? At least they should recognise that their game came out in a very much unfinished state. You know, that's what was reported. But at the same time, I think I saw a lot of this on Twitter, you know, around just now when Elden Ring was coming out, and people were saying, you know, there's not much point in giving people review codes a day before the game comes out, because by that point, the community players have already made up their mind. They probably either pre-ordered or they were going to get it anyway. So realistically, Battlefield probably already lost before even the reviews told people that it could have been better. Because I'm pretty sure the reviews for Battlefield were like middling too.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah,
but
middle of the road. Very.
But it was also the fact that the game had come out in beta about a month before, and every single person had said this is unfinished, this is nowhere even close to being complete, you need more time in the oven. They even recommended that they took a year off. But yeah, what did EA do? They released it anyway, because EA got to make money.
Yeah. Whereas with Halo, you know, Halo's a beloved IP. Yeah, fans have been anticipating it for a while, and they like I think Microsoft done a really good job of building up excitement.
Yes.
For that in the lead up. And they are not beta but technical test. The limited closed access technical test was basically in an extremely good state in comparison to Battlefield's beta, which was out like a couple of weeks before Battlefield launched.
100%.
And then also Microsoft played the absolute alpha move of launching multiplayer early.
Was it a month early? It was like
3 weeks.
It was a few weeks, and then that already got people. That rumors behind that probably someone deliberately, you can maybe say someone deliberately kind of fed that out. It got me excited. It got a lot of community excited. The amount of memes that came out about like people like like kind of pinpoint bolding things and say, "Oh no, it's right. This is definitely happening." It got people excited. And then it happened. You know, they built the hype up, executed on it well during a month where 2 other big FPSs came out in Call of Duty and Battlefield, and yet Halo still done exceptionally well at launch. That, and you even think about Infinite's marketing campaign. I think Infinite's marketing campaign was great because they really tapped into nostalgia with a lot of things, even if it wasn't evident. Like I think the other day when we were talking about this episode and stuff, I was mentioning how Halo 3's kind of ad campaign was great.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it really leaned into this idea of hope and kind of humanity's endurance, stuff like that. You know, that was kind of theme, and it was really uplifting. It really set the tone for Halo 3 and the kind of who Master Chief is. And at the same time, you see that echoed in a lot of the marketing for Infinite. With they done the weekly kind of little brief live action trailers of the different people that helped make Master Chief's suit, and that shows you look at them combined, and the whole message behind a lot of the advertising was that it's a collective effort. Together we're stronger. Even though you're one man, it's like together. You know, when you think about these things, you got to think about the underlying tone and what the message behind a lot of these strategies. And they did set it up. And again, you think about the actual campaign for Halo Infinite itself, and the campaign for that is that, you know, it's all about hope. It's about perseverance.
Yes.
Overcoming the odds and stuff. And I think the market really reflected that. And then obviously you had the other things like there's Master Chief with a puppy, if you remember that, and the puppy like catches the grenade or something. Was it not? Do you not remember that? I swear it was a trailer. It was like Master Chief was like fighting, and there was something. And then there's this dog or something. I'm pretty sure the dog like drops a frag at his feet and he looks down and looks up like that. It's a funny little thing, but you know, they really pushed Master Chief as an icon last year. They really pushed Master Chief as an icon last year, and they really echoed the same sentiment as that Halo 3 campaign. Halo 3 being, you know, one of the most brilliant not only Halo games, one of the best sci-fi games of all time.
It was a fantastic marketing campaign. I still remember it like it was yesterday because you obviously had the diorama one that they did. You also had the Believe trailer where obviously it was, you know, Master Chief throwing down like the bubble shield and all of that, you know, showing off some of the new things that were coming to the game in a CG aspect, and It was impressive. I'd say the
And
only
yeah,
one that actually got
The
anywhere close to that
soldiers.
the only one that got close to that in terms of viral marketing on the 360 era was the Gears of War trailer, the initial one. Well, the launch
the
trailer for
the
that.
Mad World
Yeah, the Mad
trailer.
World one. It was
Oh,
unbelievable. It's
brilliant,
still
brilliant.
ridiculously good. Like, you know, even describing it now, it makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up because it's that good. You know, and it's a brand new. It was a brand new IP at the time, and yet they managed to make everyone absolutely excited about this absolute hunk of meat with a lancer. It's just, you know, it was very impressive. It made me go and buy the game, and I'm not really big on those sort of cover shooters, but damn, I love that game.
Oh, it's a good game.
Yeah,
It's
in,
a good
in the same way, you know, they had that Mad World trailer, and obviously with the Mad World playing over it, you know, and the game itself is incredibly badass and action heavy and gory, but that trailer was almost tragic
It was doom and gloom,
and
wasn't it?
melancholy. There's a lot of
Yeah.
melancholy in that
melancholy.
trailer.
That's the
And in
perfect word.
Gears of War 4, when they finally brought Gears back, in Gears of War 4, they done the exact same thing, but they had the Sound of Silence as the song rather than Mad World. It was the exact same tone and theme.
But it
and
wasn't. It didn't quite hit the same as that first
it
Gears
didn't,
of War trailer.
it didn't hit the same, but
it was still
it
up there.
shows like,
Yeah.
you got to know your source material. You got to know what you're selling. You know, if you know what you're selling, then you know how to sell it. Whereas with Battlefield, going back to Battlefield a second, the only trailer I remember is the one I kept getting spammed with in YouTube ads, and it's the one where it's like kind of semi like CGI live action trailer, a big battle going on. It's like Lust for Life is playing, and it shows off all the big what Battlefield is. It's a big, massive, you know, like what is it? How many players against players again?
It's 128, I think. It's 64 and 64 on the current generation.
So it's basically the trailer showed like all the vehicle action, all the chaos that's ensuing in this big open city, you know, and then I'm pretty sure they showed the kind of tornado or weather effects in it as well.
Of course they did.
So it showed a lot of the game, but like that, I don't know, it didn't stay with me. It didn't. You know, you got to put a bit of the soul in the game, and I don't know if you know, you could go as far to say that Battlefield doesn't really have much of a soul compared to a lot of other titles, but you know, there was nothing really drawing me to Battlefield. Like when Battlefield was announced and like, they showed off the first ever trailer for Battlefield 24, I was like, oh yes, finally Battlefield's come back to stay my modern day.
I was just about to say this as well. When they showed off the weather effects, the particle effects, and all that, that blew me away. I was like, this is going to be epic. Like, I haven't played a Battlefield game since 2.
Not a World War Battlefield game, you know?
Yeah.
We're finally going back to like Battlefield 3, 4 kind of time, and I'm like, that's brilliant. Battlefield 4 was exceptional.
Yeah, because I hadn't played a Battlefield game since 2 on the 360, and I was well in for going back to it. Like, but
nothing's better than Battlefield Bad Company. Fight me.
No, I've heard Bad Company 2 is like one of the best.
Bad Company 2 is so beautifully written, guys. I am not kidding. Chat, if you have not got a chance to play Battlefield Bad Company 2, play it. If you like narrative heavy shooters. Well, I was just gonna say, as a person who I love 2142 and 1942. Because I used to go to this is how old I am. I used to go to a internet cafe, and there was like
on that. I could talk about loads of times with that, but carry on.
Yeah, there is like a LAN thing, and there'd be like 6 of us, and we'd go play 2142 or 1942.
Ciaran, this was a time before people had good internet at home. Just so you know.
Yeah. But we would go. It was my karate group, and we would go and we would play this. But we'd spend 3 or 4 hours. So I have a lot of nostalgia and a lot of connection to this. So when I saw the original trailer, my first thought was, okay, the trailer's not great, but it doesn't matter because that gameplay is going to be there. And then as the reviews came out, I became less and less interested because it didn't look like it was capturing that same gameplay. And I did try to separate nostalgia versus, reality. Put it that way. But it just it just really fell flat.
They kind of had a big problem with that though, because they had a lot of the old maps coming back from previous games in terms of the portal. Yeah, I can't remember the game mode that they put it on, but they had all of this going on, so they were trying to tap into that market, but clearly they weren't able to tap into that
See-
market by having an incredibly poor playing game.
See, I think right. We talk about how games like are getting a bit big now, right? I think that was probably the height of that was when Assassin's Creed Odyssey was nearly in its lifetime. People were like Odyssey was very big, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Too big, maybe. I still don't think Odyssey was too big. I think Odyssey was perfectly fine. As was it justified its size. But
Mhm.
I played the 2042 beta because I'm like, I'll give this a shot. I want to play this before I decide to actually buy it. And I mean, first of all, it was a bit buggy.
Yeah.
My buddy was saying to me at one point he spawned in and he literally couldn't see his hands or his gun. Like, it was just nothing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then, but the big, I'd say a defining feature in my experience with it was I was running around more than I was fighting.
Yes.
It felt like a walking simulator half the time,
That was one
or a
of the
running
main
simulator.
Mhm.
And then when you would find someone, you'd be dead in an instant, and you respawn miles away from the action again,
Yes.
and have
Yes.
to. It was like with Battlefield, right? You look at like PC games like Arma and stuff, right? And the kind of communities they've built are these people that get together and actually run like full scale like organized military operations in these maps. And that's exciting. That's exciting because not only are you feeling like you're part of a cohesive unit.
That's it. You're
Right,
you're
you're
part
in,
of
you're in the action, but it's also large scale at the same time. Whereas
Yes.
Battlefield, they're really just like, because I think you wouldn't call it chaotic, because as I said, there's a lot of times that I just felt I wasn't in the action. I felt I
Right.
wasn't in the action at all.
Yeah.
I think for Battlefield to work, keep the player size, but almost like kind of make it feel like you're progressing towards something where a defender or attacker side. See, the same way Star Wars Battlefront 2, right? EA's Star Wars
Right.
Battlefront 2,
Yes.
I still think is one of the
Mhm.
best shooters you can play. Star Wars,
What in
especially
terms
best Star Wars.
of terms of feel?
Definitely.
Yeah, it does feel like see. I can't remember the name. I think it's Galactic Assault. The mode was where
Okay.
it was kind of like traditional like Battlefield mode where you'd like one team would try and capture points and that would advance the map forwards and then you'd
Yeah.
need to push it over into the map. That felt so cinematic and exciting in comparison. And it was DICE that made Battlefront 2 as well.
Yeah,
so
they did.
It's,
True. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
DICE were very
Forgot
much on the
about that.
forefront of making Battlefront 1 and 2 when they returned.
Yeah. It's that way. You could even go as far to say it wasn't just Halo that killed it. It's the fact that Halo knew it was. Battlefield knows. Maybe Battlefield does know what it is. It's just that it's not. It's behind the times now.
I don't think it is behind the times. I actually think that they're trying to constantly advance the game, but obviously what it feels like they haven't quite got their A team working on Battlefield anymore because they've moved on to other projects.
Pete, think about it. You tell me your opinion, obviously, but think about it. I just told you that I loved playing it 10 years ago in a LAN cafe.
Yeah.
That's not today.
No, of course not. No.
That's so far removed from today's,
Yeah,
multiplayer.
of course, but you could also say
or co-op or whatever.
You could say the similar thing about it, even though they haven't had a game for a very long time. My experience of that, or two games of playing in internet cafes, was Unreal Tournament and Far Cry. Now, one of those is very different to what it was back in that day, and the other doesn't really exist now.
No, it doesn't, sadly.
Yeah, trust me, I want Unreal Tournament back. Classic
Oh.
Unreal Tournament, not like 2003 or anything like that.
No, 2003 is the one I
was
had.
going to say Unreal Tournament 3 is the one I played on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And it was I loved it to bits. I loved it. I thought it was as a young guy, who just loved cool things and sci-fi. I saw the different weird characters you could play, and I was like, "This is so cool."
Yeah.
Because I remember playing it, and I was like, I played like Gears of War as well at this point, so I played it naturally, and I'm like, "Oh, these guys look like Marcus Phoenix and stuff,"
Yeah,
as a young guy.
That's where it all came from.
Yeah.
They're all thick.
It's not strange that like Epic Games used to like do that, and now we've got Fortnite.
I know, and there's no thick
boys. That's quite the jump, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not a fan of the thick boys anymore.
No. Nope.
Yeah, but it's that's what I mean. It's like, so you're looking at obviously like the nostalgia side of what Battlefield was, and I could look at that in any other game that I've played in terms of internet cafes. Yeah, everyone's able to actually experience the game in a very different way nowadays in terms of being able to play it over on a console,
Absolutely.
a PC, cross play,
Yeah.
cross progression, cross saves, the whole lot. You never had that back in the day.
No.
But what they have lost is the fact that the game is actually well built. You know, that was always a selling point of Battlefield, is that you could go into it after Battlefield 3
Good
happened.
point.
You know, the games were well built, they were substantial, they were content rich.
We
as well
never
as
had
having
a crash.
There you go. But yet, since Battlefield 3 came
None of
out,
that.
they do not come out in a stable way anymore.
No, they're
because
not
EA know
stable.
about like that fan base. They know that fan base is mostly gonna buy what they're given because they play it.
Sadly,
They go,
I'm one of them.
okay, this isn't good, I'm going back to the previous one, and then I'll come back 6 months later because they've actually done substantial patching to it. You know, I know plenty of people, Rachel's brother-in-law, I think, being one of them, or Rachel's cousin's husband is a massive Battlefield player, like plays it every time, all the time. But yeah, every single time it comes out, I ask him, how's the new Battlefield? He goes, it's crap, moving on.
Oh.
You know, he says it every time. So I'm just like, okay, you are a Battlefield fan and you're turning around and saying you're not willing to play this anymore. Jesus, this is bad. You know, and that was the first thing that I heard from him about when Battlefield 2042 came out. And I just saw him posting constantly. It's like, wasted £60 on this. What a joke. What a waste. And I sympathise with that because I did the same thing with Street Fighter 5.
Pete, does that... And both of you, do you think that's related to the fact that Halo was free on Game Pass?
Not exactly. It helps in some way, of course.
Right. Okay.
I just think that actually that 343 took the right incentive this time, saw that their first reveal had gone down like a sack of wet spuds, and gone, you know what? We need time. This needs more time in the oven, and we need to actually optimize this because this is our big game. This is our first party game. Yes, it's not coming out at the time that we said that it was going to come out, but if this one fails, then we're in a bad spot here with Halo.
Yeah, it worked for them.
And it
Multiplayer
did,
and campaign get reviewed exceptionally well.
Exactly. That's why
what were you going to say, Ciaran, a while ago? I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
I don't remember saying anything. I think I was just saying that.
But yeah, it's just like I think that they took the time to make sure that it was optimized and came out well received. Because if the game had come out a year before in the state that it was in, we wouldn't be having this positive conversation about.
You're talking about Halo, right?
Yeah,
okay.
We would be having a very negative discussion about what Halo could have been, not what it is. Now we're having the discussion about what Battlefield could be, but is not.
All Craigs are beautiful.
Yeah. Craig lives matter.
See as well, you look at what that is done to Call of Duty, because I mean I have a lot of friends that buy Call of Duty like every year.
Yeah, so do I.
Because it's that shooter that everyone knows that they get, you know.
Right, yeah.
You know,
if they don't play anything else, they play Call of Duty and FIFA.
Yeah,
That is it.
And every year without fail, like my buddies that play it, especially my buddy that's like really good. One of my friends is really good at games. Like no matter what he plays, he'll play it and he'll get really good at it. And he really likes Call of Duty. But even him, and you look at just people in the COD community say, "Oh yeah, COD's just it's all right, and it's crap."
Yeah.
You know. And now what we're seeing is for the first time Call of Duty not coming out this year.
That's actually one of the comments that Nana said I was going to bring up at the right time, so thank you for bringing that up. So he said, on that note, Call of Duty is actually skipping a year for the first time in like a decade. I would say it's more than a decade at this point, because it's not happened since Call of Duty 2 on the Xbox or 360.
No, 360?
And I'm sure they had an Xbox version of it, though. The big red one.
And then you look at like examples of games that again have taken time to adjust or readjust. in some instances, Halo being one we just mentioned.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed was a big franchise that absolutely needed it, especially after the bug fest that was Unity. I think
Yeah.
Unity was a very big wake up call for them. Much as I'm pretty, Syndicate came out after Unity, didn't it?
I'm pretty sure
It did.
Syndicate was also quite buggy at the same time as well.
It was.
Yeah, I think Syndicate had
It
the
was very
same
buggy.
similar kind of no face bug as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the most memorable one.
Oh, I
Yes.
love. I always love seeing those bugs
Yeah.
as well, like where it's just inside out face basically.
And then they came back with Origins, and I remember I hadn't bought
Oh,
an Assassin's
Origins.
Creed game since like Black Flag, I think it was. I
Right.
played Black Flag, and after that, the Alliance didn't interest me, and then obviously they started getting worse reviews from
Yes.
that. I heard Syndicate was actually really good. To be fair, I heard Syndicate was actually pretty good.
Story wise, I heard
and-
good things about it.
Yeah, that and the last gen, the last gen exclusive one, Rogue.
Yeah,
Have
they
the
not
Irish
just
fella.
re-released that in a collection?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
even
they've just came
remember
brought
that
in
one.
for something. Yeah, I think it came for Switch actually. I'm not entirely sure, but
Gosh.
what's his face? Yeah, I didn't buy Assassin's Creed for a while, and Assassin's Creed was one of the first ever games I ever played in my life on the 360. I played the first Assassin's Creed. Get that thing when I got my Xbox 360, I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
So my dad literally just got me a bunch of games. He got me Halo 3, he got me
Mm.
Assassin's Creed. I'm pretty sure Gears of War was another one.
Yeah, let me.
And those three franchises, like,
Yeah.
well, like made up that part of my gaming life. Those three
Sure.
franchises, because then I have like Gears 2 as well, and I have like Gears 3. Gears 3 was
Oh, Gears 2
And-
is
and-
the superior Gears.
and then I even got excited for Halo 4. Obviously, I played a bunch of the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, I'm going to take you on a magical mystery tour here, Kieran,
Oh,
because the
God.
first time that I played Assassin's Creed was when
Oh,
it first
dear.
came out, renting from Blockbuster.
Oh
Oh
wow!
my gosh.
I was so unsure about that game. I was just like, I think I need to rent this. So me and my mate were like, all right, we've got a Blockbuster near us. I've got a membership. Let's just go and rent it. And you could have it for obviously a week. So I played it for a little bit and I went, I'm not sure about this one. And then I just gave it to my mate and he completed it in a couple of days and went, man, this game's excellent. What are you talking about? And I was like, okay, I'm going to play it now.
I think see, I often glimpse upon the corpse of my local rental place.
Oh dear.
And I'm pretty sad because I remember being in there when I was like 5 and 6,
Mm,
getting movies and stuff.
Oh gosh.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure one of the games I rented for there was a Prince of Persia game. It wasn't like a mainline Prince of Persia. It was like
The one that
one.
came out
It was like a kind of updated one.
So,
I can't.
I know the one. It's the
remember
cell shaded Prince of Persia, just called
the
Prince
cell
of
shaded
Persia.
one.
Yeah,
the cell shaded.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I gave it back early because
Because it was
I found it too
terrible.
tough. I found it too tough. I couldn't do the
Really?
parkour and stuff. On it. Yeah.
No, that.
I mean,
no,
I was like 6 or 7 people.
okay,
Like,
fine, but that. I was
there
going
are
to
a
say
lot of
that game had a mechanic in there that meant you couldn't die.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't even remember that.
I-
That's so old. I don't remember that.
what I remember was like trying to like walk across a wall and like fall into like a pit.
Uh-huh.
And then,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but you had
But-
it where that other character would just throw you back up, so it was just like you didn't ever
Don't
die. You just had to redo it.
I don't remember it. Like, it's too much of a detail for me to remember. But I do think it's funny. Nana says,
Yeah, I was laughing at this comment.
I do know what a blockbuster is or was. Lol. See, what's crazy is I think, Pete, by the time you were renting from Blockbuster, I think Blockbusters in my area were already closing.
I think they probably were. Like the one that I was going to in near my local town
You had Gamefly.
was available. Was around for so long that I remember when they were shutting down and actually like stripping most of their stock out for my game. So many Blu-rays bought. Like, and that was when I didn't even have a Blu-ray player. So at the time I was working in this place that was near to an electronics shop. So I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go out to Blockbuster and have a look and see what they're doing. Oh yeah, they're closing down. So I bought a load of Blu-rays and then literally went on my way back to work, went and bought a Blu-ray player from that shop.
Gosh.
So yeah,
Dear.
don't worry, I know.
That's me and cash converters. People don't know what that is, but I live in that shop.
Cash Converters is a good place to find a good deal because they're
I
so
love that place.
stupid.
It's the first place I hit when I go to City Center. I just go cash converters.
This is veered very far away from PR disasters, isn't it?
Oh, yes. But
well, actually, no. PR disasters. Blockbuster failed. So
there you go.
I would say as PR. I think I was just the times.
Yeah.
they couldn't keep up with the times at
It
all.
was
'cause they-
Netflix and Game. Well, we had GameFly. I don't know if that came over here,
It wasn't
GameFly
big
was
over here, I
Netflix,
don't think.
but for games.
No, we didn't really have that over here. We've now obviously
Right.
got
Oh, you
Boomerang
had
over
Love
here.
Film. You guys had Love Film.
Oh, we
when
did,
I
yeah.
First moved here, Love Film was bigger than Netflix.
Yeah, do you...
And you could rent games from Love Film.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ciaran, do you remember what Love Film was?
No.
It's 10 years ago, so it's
no, this is going to blow your mind, right? So, Love Film was a physical rental service, like what Blockbuster used to be. So they'd send it
And
through
Netflix
the post.
started.
Hang on. Netflix had already started. They were doing disc versions, and then they suddenly changed onto the streaming. But then Love Film sort of got bought by a major company and turned into Amazon Video.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they turned it all streaming. So
Wow.
yeah, they got bought out by Amazon, and that's where Amazon Video has now become a thing. Because it was like the competitor to Netflix.
I left America 10 years ago. I left America with a Netflix account, and I could rent physical DVDs.
Yeah.
And also stream. And I could stream something else. I don't remember. I guess it was GameFly. Must have been GameFly.
Probably,
I must have both. Because I was streaming games as well. This is way back. That's 10 years ago. And then I come here, and nobody knows what the frick Netflix was. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you should get a Love Film account." And then that's how I discovered what Love Film was, and it was like everywhere. And then all of a sudden, overnight, it was gone.
Yeah, it really was. Like they literally just disappeared. Like nobody really knew what had happened to them. And then Amazon just came out with their streaming platform, and it was like, oh yeah, this is like
so crazy.
it was when it was like. The fact is that when the Wii U first came out, you could actually download the Love Film app that then changed.
Oh my gosh!
It was like, okay.
Right.
The weird thing about Love Film, right, and I'm just going to say this because it was a funny story. I remember I was 17 at the time, learning how to drive, and my driving instructor had a side business of getting stuff from Love Film, making copies of it and selling them.
Oh, oh my gosh. Look,
yeah, he was one of those guys.
Some of us gotta make a buck somehow, you know. Hey.
Yeah, but he was a driving instructor, quite a successful one as well.
Oh my gosh,
So,
my driving lessons start back up next week. But going back to chat, oh goodness, Nana says I don't know what Love Film is. Well, there you go.
And then he said, "Oh wow!" Well, as soon as I said what it was.
I think that we should go through just quickly. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but you know what we think is the worst PR disasters in gaming.
I want to talk about some of these because we were having a right old laugh. We're trying to find these the other day. Oh god, Kylie, do you want to read the one that you posted? Just read what it says, and it's absolutely brilliant.
Bring it out. I can't bring it up, so I don't remember. Which
one?
one?
I've got it posted here, so I can read it if you like.
You do that.
So this came directly in our Discord chat the other day with an accompanying image, and the image is more funny than the actual description, to be honest. But it says, the advertising genius is here in Blighty, which is obviously another term for England. Thought it would be a great idea to make some spoof prostitute-style cards in phone boxes around Soho in London to advertise the original Crash Bandicoot. Seeing as Soho is traditionally known as London's red light district. Sadly, the telephone number no longer works, so if you want to call the young Randy Bandicoot, you'll have to try another service.
It's calling cards that they left in phone booths of the young Randy Bandicoot and his pants and his undies.
We got a right old giggle about this the other day when you posted it.
See, honestly, right? I think that would work today.
I think it would as well.
See if every time you you phone that number and it's just Crash spouting random gibberish through the phone, I would die on the spot. I'd die with laughter.
Look, if you had the occasional aku in there as well, that would be even more funny.
Yeah, just random noises and then it hangs up on me. That'd be so good. That'd be so funny.
Look,
honestly, I mean, right.
Look, all you need is a
Yeah.
whoa, and I'm done.
Yeah, either they make an automated message for that, or if they go all out, hire a team just to like make crash noises, and then hang up the phone so they can wait for the next person to phone. That'd be some gig. That'd be some gig to be a crash impersonator.
That'd be the easiest gig of all time, but it would be hilarious.
I would love to do that. I just think that'd be genius, and the kind of meme culture we're kind of in right now.
Oh,
Like,
God.
I think that'd be hilarious.
Look, Microsoft need to do something great with Crash Bandicoot and bring it back to how it was before in terms of like viral marketing. Because
Randy.
we
Call
all,
him Randy.
yeah, I mean, we all remember obviously like when the original game came out and that ridiculous person dressed up in a Crash outfit, like going outside Nintendo's headquarters and shouting with a megaphone. What an absolute classic that one was. A great viral marketing as well. So
it did work, yes.
Yeah. So, Ciaran, have you got any particular favourites of
Although I don't know if that was bad. I think that was kind of good.
No, I mean just any firm favourites of like PR, like any good or bad PR, like in gaming.
Oh dear, it's put me on the spot. I mean, I suppose just a general thought. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about the other ones that you put in.
Yeah, okay.
Like the Halo one, anything. If you talk about them, because I've got a general like thought on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think you didn't know about this one when we posted it to you the other day, but Peter Moore, obviously, when he was head of Xbox at the time.
The tattoo.
Weirdly enough, right, he went on to EA, but he now is like a stakeholder, I think, in Liverpool Football Club, which is weird. Yeah, I know, it's so strange. It's so weird. So, but he was revealing the release date for Halo 2 and pulled up his arm to reveal the terrible like Halo 2 like logo tattooed on himself with the even worse release date tattooed above it. Oh my goodness gracious me! It is so meme worthy. It is worth a look just for the laughs alone. But then he went and done something even worse and got something like, what was the game that he got tattooed on the other side?
GTA 5 or 4.
Oh, it's GTA 4, yeah.
Okay. I was recently in the news again because someone was like, oh, this guy. And then he retweeted that and said, yeah, I'm this guy.
I'm the guy that had GTA 4's logo tattooed on my arm.
On his like chest, I think. I think it was his chest.
Oh, really? I thought it was on his right arm because he did his left arm for Halo. I thought it was the right arm for GTA.
Maybe you're correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But Ciaran, yes.
That's the thing, right? You look at a lot of like the marketing stuff back in the day for video games, and it was the bloody Wild West. It was some absolute bizarre and like absurd stuff. Like another one was the severed limbs being placed around that Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
What city was it again?
Sorry?
What city was it again? Was it city? Was it a town?
I think it was in London.
London.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously you don't just hide body parts in a major city, especially in London where, you know, things like knife crime and gang violence is a big thing.
Body parts.
So, yeah, you don't do that. Like, see, imagine if Dying Light 2 done that, you know?
Gosh.
Like today, I just wouldn't fly.
No, it definitely wouldn't.
It didn't fly back then.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
No, because they clearly didn't learn their lesson though from it, because they did the one from Resident Evil 6 was setting up a butchery shop in London that was all like cuts of meat shaped like human body parts.
Like you look at this stuff and like honestly, like video game marketing in the 2000s, this early 2000s was radical as anything. It was so radical. You know, since it's just so out there. You know, it's in that sense that you look at like the kind of people in the games industry, and you're like, they're really trying to make it feel like rock and roll, let's call it, you know?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That's how it's up.
You're right.
They're trying to make gaming like very rock and rolly, right? You know, like, cool. I'm getting tattoos in my arm, you know. Like, I'm getting tattoos for this game. It's that bloody cool, you know.
Yeah. It's like the Rolling Stones like completely trashing up like hotel rooms and stuff like that. It was good marketing for their music.
And gamers are nerds and geeks, and yes, you're exactly right. They were trying to make it edgy and rock and roll and badass.
But then sometimes they go a bit too far with a oh god, the PSP White advert that we saw on a billboard in the Netherlands.
I have no idea who came up with that.
I don't know.
But first of all, how they thought that was a good idea and how they got it greenlit is beyond me.
I know, but can one of you at least try and describe the actual image? Because
Right, so I'm looking at it right now. So basically, folks, it's this billboard. It's a billboard here in this image, or it's a big kind of black background. So it's very, very monotone. It's just a big black background.
Yep.
And then there's a white woman dressed in white, gripping the face, gripping the cheeks of a kind of black woman, I believe, in full black.
In black clothing as well.
In black clothing, yes. Just holding her face in a very dominant way. And in the top left of the billboard, it says PlayStation Portable White is coming. So
I don't even want to laugh at that because it is shocking.
It's literally terrible.
So, you look at this and you get what they're trying to. I mean,
I know what they're trying to do.
Well, the thing is, if they're trying to say it, then they shouldn't have been trying to say it, because really what they're saying is that the white version's better.
That's what they're trying to say.
And the way they marketed that was a white person essentially intimidating a black person,
dominating
and physically holding them.
That sort of stuff didn't even fly in 2005, 2006, let alone these days. Jesus.
I was gonna say this was the 2000s. This isn't even like the 1970s or whatever. No, this was the 2000s.
I just don't know how they got, like, again, I don't know what made them think it was a good idea, and above all else, how their higher ups saw this and thought, this is genius right here.
Oh god.
Like, that's just.
Gosh.
Yeah, I think that's some of the worst marketing I've ever seen in my life.
I think that was the one that we saw the other day, and we have to mention this because this is so ridiculous. Like that they didn't even see it.
I've done the worst things in PR marketing. That has to be up there.
That has to be
top 10 at least. That's atrocious.
Like when you go full racist on it, Jesus.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Like, whether they intended it or not, they're basically saying white is better in that ad. Like, on a basic level, they're saying white is better here.
Yeah.
Like, there's no question that's what they're saying, and it's terrible. But I do have one more. But Pete, you want to go first?
No, you talk about this one because I know this is interesting to you.
Yeah, like obviously, just because of my position in society, there is one that was a like a special edition, I guess, is what it's called. From Dead Island Riptide.
So would it be a collector's edition? Would you say?
Collector's edition, yeah, like the really expensive one, where you get all the extra accoutrements.
Where you actually still had a physical game inside it as well.
Yes. Back to Pete's whole physical game thing. Yes, but it also came with, I kid you not, a torso of a zombie gal in her bikini, which in and of itself is not a terrible thing, except that her boobies were perfectly preserved and the rest of her was zombie eaten. Like bones were sticking out and stuff.
Yeah, the head off, like the whole lot.
Head was gone. It was just boobies. It was just nice boobies. as a stand on your desk. And they received tons of negative blowback on that, should I say?
You don't say.
Yeah.
Wow, gee, I wonder why. It's not like people want a pair of bloody tits on their desk.
No, but the boobs were perfect. They didn't have blood on them or anything. They were perfect, but the rib cage was showing, the tattered Yeah,
I think
it's
you just
like,
missed the point of what I just said. I said bloody tits. Yes.
yes, I'm American.
Boobs.
Beeps.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that to me is one of the worst things. And there was a lot of negative feedback on that. And it was like, I don't know, was that 2010 maybe?
Something like that, I think.
Yeah, around that
Maybe
area.
2011,
So-
12, somewhere sort of.
So again, not that long ago, in that again, we're not talking about 1990s, late 90s or something like that. It was closer to us now than it was in the past.
Oh, for sure, you could definitely understand if it was a little bit more in the 90s.
Yeah,
style marketing back then, especially with gaming, was more edgy, more ridiculous. Like they were trying to go up against Hollywood.
It's not an excuse, but I was gonna say it's not an excuse, but you could understand it more.
Yeah, as a new medium, it was trying to find their niche in the market to try and make it stand out to people who weren't inside the gaming sphere itself. It didn't work to some degree. Some of it was just a bit weird, but some of the examples that we've obviously got today are more recent, which is quite worrying to say the least. I'll go through this one, and I can't remember obviously like the full story because we read this on our chat the other day.
Mm-hmm.
But there was an instance in, was it New Zealand or was it Australia?
One of those.
Okay,
areas.
so one of those particular areas of the world,
this Polynesian area.
Doon under.
Yes.
They so I'm not going to reveal exactly what happened right now. So there was a parcel that was sent to various gaming outlets or press outlets, let's say, because not all of them were gaming outlets, where the PR company had phoned up previously to sort of say something about the boxes that they were going to be getting. Now,
right. Which is courtesy and what you should do.
Yeah, so in most occasions now it'll probably be an email that's sent to the person, like detailing like their NDA agreement about the game that they're covering and what's in the contents of the box. Because we all know privileges for game reviewers is most of the time free copies of games and special editions.
Yes, that's correct.
We obviously spoke about that with Sophia Norwitz a long time ago, didn't we? Which is was quite interesting, like some of the detailed stuff they get. Anyway, so this person was supposed to have been given a phone call from the PR company to state what they were going to be getting. Person didn't have voicemail enabled on their phone, so never actually got one. So this box comes in. It's apparently quite big. The box starts to tick. Now, oh dear, most people would start to worry and think, crap, there's a bomb. So
post 9/11, so
yeah, this was post 9/11. So you'll get an example of what time scale this is by when I tell you what game it was eventually. So they call the police quite, understandably, because a box has been sent through the press. And there have been instances in the past where press have been attacked over certain things that they say.
Oh yeah, you think about the hate some journalists get.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So they called the police. They then investigate this package that's been sent. It's still ticking. So they remove everyone from the premises, send them home for the day, and then they get the bomb squad in. They take the package down to the basement, and they manage to manipulate and open it to reveal that there is a safe in there. The safe is locked, obviously, and it's still ticking, which is bad enough. They managed to unlock it, which I think it was set to actually unlock at a certain time, which is why it was beeping. And it opens up and it reveals that there was a copy of Watch Dogs in there. The first Watch Dogs on PC.
Which,
my God.
I mean, but if you don't know, Watch Dogs is a hacker game.
Yeah. We got a good laugh out of this one because it was so unbelievably ridiculous. Worrying and concerning for that poor journalist, of course, but Jesus Christ.
You know what makes this worse, right?
What's that?
Why that for Watch Dogs? If anything, that sounds like, I don't know, that sounds like a better marketing thing for like something like Rainbow Six.
Yeah, it would do for me as well.
Or whatever
Why for Watch Dogs?
the one where you stole the money from the bank? I forgot what game that was.
Payday.
Payday. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that would
it.
have been
of course.
exceptional. I would have been amazing for Payday.
Yeah.
Could have also done it for a Kane and Lynch game as well.
Yeah, which is a terrible game, but yes.
Is it?
But-
Yeah, sure, okay.
Yeah. But Watch Dogs.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's just
But
that,
Watch Dogs.
that was baffling. Like they shut down an entire section of the town. Like, so when
I mean,
so
it did get them PR though.
it did, but remember obviously when we had
no
that
such thing as
incident.
bad press. There's no
It's
such
true.
thing as bad press.
That is what my editor used to
Of
tell me
course,
nonstop.
but we brought this up obviously, like where we'd had this incident at Ubisoft at Montreal, I think it was, or Montreal,
Yes.
Vancouver, where they had the hostage situation.
I was immediately like, this is a PR situation.
Yeah,
I
that's
believe I
what
told you that, Pete.
we both said a similar thing at the same time. We thought it was
That
a
I
PR
don't
stunt
believe this.
because Ubisoft have been known for pulling lots of different weird PR stunts in the past. And this is prime example of it, obviously.
I was just like, I mean, I try not to be kind of jaded and cynical, you know, because I'm older and I've been in the business. But that had all the harm.
Why the weird way of saying I've been in the business?
Because I sound so full of myself.
Okay, fair point.
But it had all the hallmarks of this isn't real. This isn't real. And sure enough, it proved to be quite. Oh, it was terrible. I was so angry.
Yeah,
I was so angry.
It was weird, wasn't it?
Because you get people actually worried. Which it gets attention to your game, and I get that. I really do get that. But don't mess with people's fifis while you're trying to get attention. Is how.
So, see that hostage situation, was that for Rainbow Six?
I think it was Rainbow Six, the latest one that came out.
Extraction, I think it was.
Extraction, yes, I believe
You
that
sure?
is correct. No, that doesn't seem right. Seems like it must have been the one before.
Rainbow Six Siege. Can Siege? That's like about.
Siege! That's what it was. It was Siege.
Yeah, you're right.
See, so there we go. That kind of answers my thing about why not use the safe thing for Siege, because they clearly had a better one lined up
Oh my god.
for Siege. They're like, just like, all right, guys. So we're going to use the vault stunt for Siege, aren't we? Just like, no, should we put a hostage for that? It's like, oh, of course. How could I forget?
Yeah, we're just gonna have a mass shooter running around in our offices for a few days for no reason.
Oh my gosh. You know, there's like this thing going around. It's like on Twitter and Facebook and everything. It's like, I'm tired of living through historical events. I think that any PR firm at the moment needs to take that into account. Let's not do anything that's, historically whatever, Let's just do fun things. Like, I don't know. Then people, if you have a new Viva Pinata coming out, send people pinatas. Candy in them.
No, how cool would that be? That'd be so cool though. Like, send them like actual pinata for viewing pinata. They break it open. You get everyone in the office to break it open inside.
Yeah.
Imagine it wasn't just one, but multiple copies of your pinata for people in the team.
Yeah, well, you know what you do, right?
And also candy.
Okay, so you have.
It's just even fair you fit that many games.
Yeah.
In a pinata. It'd be like a bloody Trojan horse at that point. Like Trojan pinata.
So what you should do, right, is you get a pinata, and you fill it with smaller pinatas that all have individual candy in them.
I see this going.
Little miniature pinatas.
What? The big pinata, loads of them fall out.
Matrushka pinata.
Yeah. So.
Oh gosh.
I'm trying to think any more weird marketing stunts. There was one that we had, like, if you can bring up that article that I posted in the 13 biggest fails in video game marketing. I posted the link.
Can't bring up anything. I'm afraid to.
I was going to say, you're not running the stream, so...
I will try that, but my computer is
good
terrible.
point, yeah. So, Ciaran, if you've got a chance, could you bring that up and see if there's anything? Because my stream will crash if I...
What, the Discord, do you mean?
Yeah, there should be a Goliath link in there that says 13 biggest fails in video game marketing.
Yeah, just find it. I take it you've not seen what I put into this.
I was going to say, I just saw that
I can't see it, unfortunately.
Pete, it's something we discussed before we went live, yes, we should bring it up.
Let me bring it up on my phone, hang on.
Yeah, it's something that we need to go ahead and acknowledge because it's...
Yeah, I just saw it because that's
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, so 13 fails.
Yeah, so we've talked about some of these already. I'm sure there was a couple on there that like were
Ugh.
interesting enough to discuss.
Oh gosh, the Xbox One reveal.
Yeah, that was bad.
Oh gosh,
TV,
that was
TV,
terrible.
TV, TV.
I was watching that.
So was
live.
I. Rachel was
As
in
it
the
happened.
Rachel was in the room whilst I was watching it, and she went, "This wasn't very good, was it?" And I went, "No, it wasn't."
I was just like, I'm not getting one. I'm not getting one. I don't remember what made me get one. I actually
Master
don't
Chief.
remember.
I think one thing quite funny was Dead Space 2. Hates your mum.
Oh,
God.
yeah, that's the
Yes,
one.
that
That's the
was
one.
good.
Thank you. Yeah. So there was a
That was good.
there was a viral video that went out where the creators of Dead Space, which is Visceral Games, wasn't it?
Visceral, yep.
Yeah. So Visceral
Yeah.
created a video where they showed some of the really violent stuff from Dead Space 2 to parents of gamers.
Oh gosh. Oh dear.
With under the title of Dead Space hates you, or Dead Space hates your
Your
mum.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. We watched some of that, didn't we? It was brilliant.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
I was like, I think, yeah, it says here the campaign was dubbed "Your Mom Hates This."
Oh yes, that's it. Yeah.
Which would work.
And the whole point behind the marketing campaign, like you can see the logic here.
Yeah.
We're just off talking about like how a lot of the early 2000s stuff was trying to be edgy and rock and roll and like, oh, we're like we're cool like that. We're outside the norm.
We're not
Um,
nerds.
and this was kind of leaning at that, so they really wanted to appeal to like the kind of younger teenage crowd, the edgy crowd, by saying, "Oh, your mom doesn't want you to play this game, so you should try it out just to stick it to the man, or stick it to the woman in this instance."
Yeah.
And for that reason, it was also apparently called out for being sexist.
Yeah, it was.
And also, apparently, also some people went as far to claim that it perpetrated the myth that only men play games and that women do not understand them.
Time where that was the heavily believed.
Yeah.
Erroneous believed. But...
I mean, at least the game was good. At least Dead Space 2 was.
Yeah, I think that
was my favorite games all the time. Dead Space 2, I think it was. Oh.
I was gonna say Dead Space 2 is the superior Dead Space in my mind.
Okay, I definitely think that we have pretty much covered some of the more controversial and weird ones on this list. Like I didn't want Sony getting away without like not atoning for that one particularly because it is so shocking. Honestly, it's so shocking. I might even put it as the art for the episode, just because.
Just put episode hates your mom.
Yes, this episode hates your mum. Yeah, I'm so doing it. So yeah, just want to bring up. So Nana's mentioned a couple in here, so we'll cover those before we go into the final point. So he what was it? He said something about Mighty Number 9. Mighty Number 9 was one of the worst Kickstarters of all time, and it was a huge PR thing, and it got funded. It did very, very well, and yet the game came out in an absolute state. Like, it was not good. So
confusing one for me.
Yeah. So he says it feels like companies don't realize the boneheaded moves. No, they do not. So,
I think out of touch, honestly.
I'd definitely say out of touch.
Yeah.
I think nowadays video game marketing's been got a lot more. They became more tame and more sensible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just how I describe it.
Absolutely. I'm gonna agree with you there.
Agreed. Yeah. He then talks about rowdy tops in Shantae was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yes, rowdy tops.
Okay.
That is.
I'm not sure. He said also Mighty Number 9 overpromised on its ports and versions, and also Red Ash never came out. Oh yeah, they promised an anime and a game for that, and they never came out. He then puts F Inafune. He nearly killed Mega Man again.
Yeah, that's true.
He then mentions, man, the Wesker and Sons Butchers is effed up because it was. And it was to promote Resident Evil 6, the one that didn't have Wesker, but it had Wesker's son.
Weird. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jake is Jake Wesker.
Right.
That's why it's Wesker and Sons.
Like, I've said this before on the show, but Resident Evil lore, I get like right into it, and then it just poof goes into like alternative realities and stuff, and I'm just like, crap. All right, I can't follow it. So.
Also, the best bit of marketing they ever did for Resident Evil 6 was that logo, because it looks like a giraffe, like
oh gosh,
self-satisfying.
Oh, Pete.
Yes, I know. That's why I said it. It's E for everyone, remember?
I take your word for that. But
Yeah, I mean, you could have used the F word. Not saying it.
Okay.
That borders well beyond, I think, E for everyone.
Okay.
If I say it, so.
Because I really like, if you're talking about logos for real, like Resident Evil 8, I go back and forth. 8 Village.
I don't like it.
I personally don't like it, but then there's a part of me that's like, but the VIII fits in Village, and then the other part of me is like, it doesn't.
No, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. Anyway.
I'm of two minds, and they argue with each other whether that's a good logo or not.
Yeah. Anyway, there was something that was posted in the chat. We'll finish off with this one because it only happened very, very not long before we started streaming, and that was the Pokemon Presents for Pokemon Day.
Yes.
So today, the 27th, as we were recording, was a Pokemon Day, because it is the day that Red and Green came out in Japan all those years ago. So they did a presents. It was 15 minutes long. Wasn't really anything to write home about.
3 new Pokemons.
Not really.
Grass Cat and Duck with Mario head.
But that was because that was the reveal of the starters for Generation 9. Which is
the next
Pokemon
mainline
Violet. I think it's
Scarlet and Violet.
That's the one, yeah, Scarlet and Violet. Stupid names aside. Not sure.
I just threw in the teaser trailer there. And actually there's like footage of the game.
I've seen it.
Right.
I saw it beforehand.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna say this now because I watched it. Really... I did watch it live. Pokemon don't do themselves any favors whatsoever, and the Pokemon Company don't do themselves any favors by showing very, very early footage that runs at about 10 frames a second. It looked appallingly bad in terms of the frame rate. It's the same thing that everyone... go back and watch it again. It might have been a stream thing, but...
I think it was a stream thing, because I'm watching that just teaser review.
Yeah, because I watched it and I looked at that and I went, this frame rate don't look good, but it's early, obviously. So it's the same instance that we had with Pokemon Legends Arceus as well. So you know it's going to be optimized much better, like when it comes out. I still worry, obviously, about it, but Generation 9 this soon after Generation 8, and the fact that everyone thought this wasn't going to happen because of Arceus, it's quite surprising, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, any other thoughts?
No, I think the actual setting looks interesting. I think people are saying it's very kind of Spain themed. You look at some of the things shown in it.
Yeah. Someone said that was Spain's map in the thing.
Well, they've done this before. So Sword and Shield are obviously like a flipped upside down version of Britain, where you start in Scotland. I can't remember which generation it was, but one of them was based on France. The Sun and Moon were obviously based on Hawaii, and the Aloha region was based on Hawaii.
Yeah.
I think I want to say it was not Diamond and Pearl. It was God, what was the one? One of them. It was either Black and White or I think it was Black and White that were that's supposed to be based on France. But, they have they have precedent for doing things like this with the worlds.
Yeah,
So
I think as well. Starter Pokemon look kind of cute. So
they do.
That was the thing that I'm always blown away by with the new generations, which is why I went to Sword and Shield. Is those starters were great. They looked amazing. I'm really interested to see where they go with that because they do look cool. Oh,
I like saying
thank-
Grass Cat.
yeah, thanks, Nana. It's Kalos that was the region that's based on France.
I have like a tower and that.
Yeah, I remember showing.
Vaguely remember that.
Yeah, I remember showing you the actual stage from Smash Brothers, the traveling
was
stage that was Prism Tower. Yeah, and it's very well designed in that game as well.
yeah,
I'm
so
taking
there you
word
go,
for
folks.
it.
A new Pokemon game, a new mainline Pokemon game. It
Yeah.
should be. It says late 2022. So
Yeah, so that's probably November. You know, it's gonna be.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's it.
I think that is going to do it for our show. Of course, if you've joined us at twitch.tv/rapid reviews, you can get in on the conversation, as Nana has done quite a bit.
But that's not to say that you can't leave us some thoughts afterwards if you
Oh,
listen to
please
the audio
do.
version. It can
We love your thoughts
yeah.
and your feels
So
and your tater tots.
yeah, stick around obviously after we finish talking because in the audio version there is an actual place where you can follow everything and get in touch with us.
Pete, I was getting a bit sleepy. I forgot. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. Let's see. Pete, if they want to find you out there in the world, in the interwebs, where can they find you out there?
So you can follow me on Twitter at PeteBeckett1, which is spelled BECKETT and then number 1. You can follow me on the Rapid Reviews Radio Podcast Twitter as well, which is at our Radio Pod. But you can also hear my dulcet and dull tones on the Never Watchers podcast, which is at Never Watchers on Twitter.
Where are you at now in the Never Watchers?
Oh yeah, good question.
Sorry?
Where are you at now in Never
One
Watchers?
Division, episodes
Oh.
7 to 9.
Oh.
The 4 to 6 are due to come out this week at some point.
So this is so you've seen the big surprise ending to one episode, haven't you?
Episode 6.
I believe so. A certain person shows up.
Oh,
Yeah.
The surprise cameo.
No. I'm telling you now, right? I'll mention this to you after the stream is done because I can't reveal my cards, of course.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So
Okay, well, I'll leave that.
So episode 4, WandaVision episode 4 to 6 should
Love
be coming out
WandaVision.
this week some point.
Very good. Kieran, what about you? Where can they find you out there?
Just the usual. On Twitter at the Mcginn. And from there you can find a link to Rapid Reviews UK. And also my own personal blog, PauseplayReview.com.
They're in the show notes too.
Absolutely. I think that's going to wrap it up for us.
No, it will not because you
Wrap
do
it
this
up.
all the time. You try to segue your way through people wanting to talk to you on Twitter.
No one wants to talk to me, and one day I will successfully evade all of your attempts. But
if you do,
I have 700 followers, and I get an average of 10 views on my posts. So that tells you, if you want to come watch some nonsense, find me at Kiley to Greet. KILEYTEHGE. No. KILEYTEHGREET.
there I
And
was. I was
yes.
about to praise you for getting through that with no issues, and yet you went and screwed that.
Come watch me, please. I'd like to get more than 10 views per post.
Please do.
And I would also like to hit 700 followers. I don't know why. I don't think that actually does anything at all, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I like round numbers.
Okay. We've
But
noticed this about you every time
Yeah.
we see.
I like 10s, 5s and 10s. Although I'm at 690. Well, no, I'm at 696 now. Anyway, that doesn't matter. I do want to thank everyone for listening and also our watchers. Please join us every week as we bring you all the gaming news you can use and opinions. So we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye!
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thus ends the podcast portion of the show.
Yes.
Pete, You have to keep streaming now.
I know. I've just finished the recording section. That's it.
Ooh.
So yeah, the video might have frozen for a second.
Well, I didn't notice, but we've had a really great chat.
That was a fun one.
That
oh my
was
god,
good. I loved it. It's fun.
You brought a great subject to us with that one, Kylie.
Well, I pulled it out of my ass. Mostly, if I'm honest, I just wanted to talk about Sabathoon.
Yeah, but sometimes it's that wanting to talk about something that brings a good topic to the forefront, and then when we put our minds together, we find absolute gold, like Resident Evil 6 human butchery shop.
Oh my gosh!
Things like that, and then that Crash Bandicoot prostitute card is just absolutely genius. I'm gonna post that on Twitter afterwards, by the way.
Yes.
Once the episode goes live, I'll post the image on the Rapid Reviews Radio Twitter.
Good old Randy Bandicoot. But chat, we'll give you a couple of minutes before we wrap it up. I'm starving. I can't eat all the bread I cooked. So I'm starving.
Yeah, I think it will go horrible by the time it gets over here with the posted system of Northern Ireland.
Oh my gosh.
Terrible
yeah,
system.
Poor Pete. Pete has been waiting for 3 months now.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
For a Christmas present.
Christmas present. And also
You're
I
still
have
waiting,
as well.
yeah.
I was gonna say technically I have as well. But I got Pete some like really cool stuff, man. So I still think it will show up because it's still showing in transit. So
yeah, I hope so.
But I got these really cool mailers from my business. So my business, I was gonna say icon. I don't know what it's called. Business thing.
Yeah.
Is the panda. And I got these mailers that are also pandas. And I love it so much. Makes me so happy. The problem is, though, I don't sell a lot of my original designs. I sell a lot more of my clients' designs.
Yeah.
So their mailers are all customized to them. Which is great. I love doing that. But it's like, mine are cooler, man.
Brilliant.
Don't you want a cute panda to show up in your mail?
Yes.
Yes.
It'd be better if it was a real panda. I don't know if it would be better if it was a real panda or not, but hey.
Aw. I love pandas so much.
No, don't, because there's a page that just keeps coming up on Twitter now is red pandas every hour, and I'm like, God damn.
I have that one. I have that one too, and it's like I liked it one time.
Yeah, and now it just will not disappear.
It's just yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, guys, come on. I mean, I love red pandas, but come on now.
Yeah. It's kind
Show
of.
me some possums.
It's kind of no. There is a possum one.
I know. I don't get the possum one.
That's come up for me and the fox one. I was like, God damn it.
Oh, I love the fox.
Yeah, but I don't
one.
care about foxes. I have some that live down the back of my garden.
I love foxes so much.
No, foxes are alright. It's just I don't want to look at pictures of them because I can see them roaming around in my back garden.
Foxes and wolves. But I got ducks now. Which don't get me wrong, I like ducks. They're cute, but not enough to like see them every hour.
See, I see swans all the time.
Right?
There's swans down this little park just like a few minutes away from me, and also down the big beach. There's a big swarm of swans.
Nice.
Swarm of swans. Now that's fun to say.
Yeah, a swan. I say a swan because it sounds almost negative, and that's because it should be, because swans are evil.
Are they really? Are they like gooses?
No, they are very aggressive.
Okay, yeah, geese are very
they're
aggressive.
pretentious animals that will bite you.
That's how geese are. I hate them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate them, but
I've only ever had positive experiences with geese.
oh my gosh, I have it.
I've only ever had negative experiences. Sorry, I've only ever had negative experience with geese. He was a bastard to beat in King of Fighters. Yes.
Oh, Pete, I hope you're proud of me.
I'm so proud of myself for that one.
I hope you are. Oh, geese have chased me.
Oh, no.
Tried to bite me, and I don't like them. They're very aggressive.
So playing Untitled Goose Game was like torture for
yeah,
you then.
It's a complete like PTSD.
Is this why you don't listen to the audio version? Because you do not want to hear
Oh,
goose
gosh.
honks?
No, I hate goose honks.
Exactly. Why
My
was it
mom
your
used to-
idea to include the goose honk as a
Yes.
censored thing then?
My mom used to make so much fun of me. So much fun of me. Because
I'm
I
not
was like
surprised.
terrified. She's like, oh gosh, Kylie, the geese are coming for you. Stop it!
That just sounds evil.
They're gonna get you.
That's like turning round, like my mum turning round and saying, "Look, there's a giant spider waiting outside your room for you." Okay, I'm never leaving my room again then.
Oh, spiders are nice though.
Spiders
Spider
suck.
bros.
No, spiders suck.
No, not here. They don't. Well, maybe flies. They do suck flies.
Yeah, I've had a spider in my bathroom for like ages. It just will not
Right.
leave. It's like that big.
He
So
likes it.
so it's bearable, right?
I say he. It's probably a she
Yeah.
if you can see it.
Okay, right. So
The females that are out in the open.
yeah, it's just in the bathroom. It just stays on the ceiling for
Aw.
no particular reason.
Aw.
It decided to move today to near the shower head, and I'm like, oh, that's freaking me out. No thanks. but yeah, a couple of weeks ago there was flies going around in there, and it just stayed
Oh.
still and did nothing. And I
Yeah.
just pointed at it. I was like, you failed. You've not done your job. You suck.
Yeah. It's waiting. It's like, oh yeah, that's my smorgasbord.
Yeah, but they were gone like
The
a couple
fly
of hours
buffet.
later because the window was open, so it missed its chance.
Well, he didn't predict that.
No,
Oh
I
my
managed to save a
god.
fly life.
To be fair, like I do try and save many things. I don't save flies because they kind of gross me out a bit. They vomit on their food.
That's gross.
Yeah, which is probably mean on my part, but I don't like saving flies. But bees, I will freaking break my neck trying to save a bee.
Yeah, I remember once when I saw
Oof.
a poor bee on the floor next to
Aw.
death, and I bought it some sugar water.
Aw,
It then sucked the sugar water up and flew away. It was
yes,
lovely.
that's all I needed.
It was
They're
lovely.
so amazing.
It was a
I
very hot
didn't-
day, to be fair, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, well, I did an experiment last year. I had strawberries that I kept inside and strawberries that I kept out. Strawberry plants, I should say.
Mm.
Strawberries. Because the bees couldn't get to the strawberries on the inside, the strawberries were deformed and inedible
Oh,
because they didn't have the
yeah,
pollination.
yeah, of course.
And so I use that as an example to everyone how important bees are in
Yeah,
the development of
they
our
absolutely
food.
are.
Yeah.
We can barely grow
Kieran, what
anything
were you gonna
inside the
say?
house.
What was I going to say? I
It
don't
looked
think I
like you were
was
going to say. Oh, okay. I just
Chilling.
projected that onto
He
you.
probably just wanted to talk about how awesome bees are.
Bees
Bees
are
are-
awesome. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
I will defend bees and spiders. I do like spiders here. Spiders here, Pete. Not spiders back home or in Australia.
Nah.
And bats. Oh, we have so many bats over here in Northern Ireland. I
I-
didn't know that. I'm so
Look,
excited.
I don't mind bats until they get
Bats are
like
amazing.
really close to me, and I'm like, ooh, they kind of freak me out a little bit.
They're with wings, and I love rats.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Oh, I think that's gonna do it, isn't it?
He wants to go. No, I'm kidding.
I don't want
Yeah,
to
that
go.
is no. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Pete. You're all right. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us. Thank you, chat, for joining us. We had such a really good interaction.
Mhm.
I have to pee really badly.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna say goodbye for this week, and also we thank Ciaran for joining us. Holy crap! Yes,
Always amazing to have you back, mate.
I
always.
do appreciate it. This is a good episode, this one.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was a good one. So thank you for joining
Makes
us.
me all happy.
Thanks for being as engaging as ever, Kylie.
Oh, me? I was gonna say Ciaran was.
No, you were engaging today. I think you weren't worrying about things in the back end, so you could be
Oh.
more participating.
There you go.
So,
Yes, Pete. And okay, yes, thank you, Pete, for hosting the show.
I don't want the praise. I don't want
I'm
anything.
doing all the graphic work.
I just all it
I've
was-
turned Canadian.
I know it was more the fact that I just didn't want your computer dying because it's happened far too frequently. You know.
I gotta load it up with memory is my problem.
Yeah.
because I'm putting in a new graphics card, and then I'm gonna put some RAM in, and then we'll be all good.
Yeah.
I can't get a new computer because I have to get a new bathroom in
Yeah.
June 26th.
Oh, it's been booked in now.
Yep.
Nice.
He called me the other day, and I was like, "Really? Can we do it sooner, please?" He's like, "No, I'm booked up."
Yes, the way of everything at the moment in terms of building work,
So
unfortunately.
I can see the floor, like I can see the neck. Like if I'm in the bathroom, I can see the floor below it. Does that
Wow.
make sense? Yeah.
That's quite shocking.
Yeah. And then of course there's a huge leak. So,
Yeah.
but
Of course.
But anyway, thank you guys for joining us. We've enjoyed it so much. We've definitely enjoyed Ciaran being here.
Yes.
It was a good topic, and we will see you next week. So, bye.
Bye bye.